Hi guys, it's Elena and I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. For today's video, we're doing a stamp haul from Amazon. Woohoo! I've been kind of on a swatching spiral. If you haven't seen my previous video before, I swatched my watercolors and now I'm going to be swatching my stamps. Well, I'm doing an Amazon haul. As you can see, I ordered a ton of stamps from there and I'm going to be doing swatches of these Amazon stamps as well as the stamps that I've already owned. So it's just going to be like a whole collection of stamps and I'm super excited. It's going to be fun. I enjoy doing these type of swatches. It gets my creativity flowing without actually putting in a lot of effort. So let's get to it. And before I really start into swatching, I really wanted to decorate the cover of my journal, my bullet journal that I'm using for swatching. So I'm taking this Oriental inspired, Oriental themed kind of stamps and stuff, and I'm going to be doing an embossing. This is my second attempt ever of doing any kind of embossing at all. It came out really bad, just giving you a heads up, so please don't judge me. But I used the embossing stamping ink, stamped that on top as center as I could, and I got this gorgeous yellowy embossing powder, also from Amazon. I'll link that down below. Everything that I've done here, all the products that I have purchased recently off of Amazon will be linked down below, and anything that I could find that I didn't purchase off Amazon will also be linked down below. So I'm just trying to clear off some of that powder from embossing, and I did a couple extra dots just to take up more space on that page. But you see all that dust at the top? Yeah, you could see it from this angle in the camera. I could not see it from the angle that I was sitting at. And it's not as yellow as it really seems. The light makes it seem a little bit brighter. So I just went ahead and embossed all that dust onto the journal. Ah! Please don't do this mistake. And after it melted down, then I saw it and I'm just like, oh crap. But you know what? Whatever. Just whatever. So I'm going ahead and clearing off that stamp from the embossing stamping pad, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp in all those stamps. What I'm deciding to do is each stamp kind of set, stamp sheet, stamp collection of those clear acrylic stamps will each be their own separate color, and I'm just going to rotate colors because I only have a certain amount of ink pads, but that way I can kind of differentiate where it's from and it'll be a lot easier for me to find these stamps. The reason that's pretty much the main reason of why I wanted to swatch all of these stamps is so that I don't have to pull out my whole giant box and kind of sift through it and try not to make a mess of all these stamps. This way I get to see all the colors that I have in stamp inks and all the stamps that I have without actually having to sift through boxes. That way, when inspiration strikes and I'm doing either greeting cards or my bullet journal or any other artsy craftsy stuff, I don't have to sift through all these stamps and I could just open up this bullet journal and see how it goes. Woohoo! That's kind of the whole point of swatching, isn't it? Now, these gorgeous stamps, this Oriental themed stamp, it's called Sakura Blossom stamps, but there's not very much Sakura blossoms. It more seems like an Asian theme or an Oriental theme, and I love it, absolutely love it. So I'm just putting in all of those stamps, and this is the next stamp. It's kind of like an ombre of abstract shape. There's like raindrops, hearts, stars, but look at the details of this stamping set. Oh my goodness, I love it. Don't mind the messiness of my stamping. I wasn't trying to be too careful, but just look at the details and look how beautiful it is. Makes me so excited. I don't understand how much detail could be put into such a like a specific acrylic pad thing. Oh, and here's Lila visiting me, and I decided to be sneaky and take a stamping pad and get her paw. Look, boom. Unfortunately, this stamp is not for sale. I do not have a link for it. But now I have a memory of my cat's cute paw. Alright, I put a piece of paper in between the pages just in case something wasn't dried, and I'm continuing on with the ombre kind of stamps. Next up is this fairy inspired stamp set, and it has like moons on it, it has some flowers, and it has like believe in the magic type of theme. Little mushrooms, oh I love those mushrooms, they're just so cute, and a ton of fairies. I adore this stamping set. I love all the little fairies and like the little magical quirky bits in it, and it's one of my favorites that I have. Super cute. On to the next stamp, and this one I was so excited when I saw it on Amazon. Oh my goodness. It's kind of like a background stamp. There's a brick wall and a wooden kind of texture. That's the word that I'm looking for. And I'm just so excited to use this. Look how cool it is. And I don't have to draw it. And it just makes things so much more just detailed, and I love it. On to the next stamp set. And these are a bunch of large foliages, large leaves, and they're all different, and a couple of them are similar leaves but just different sizes, and I love how they look. I love the texture on them and the detail on them. These are really good leaves and I really like them. And I ended up using them for a cover page for the stamps. I have that out towards the end after I'm done with all the stamps, but just look at the details of the foliage. They're just so gorgeous and so pretty, and I like it so much. And the color really does it justice. This other set is a ton of kitty cats, and it's a bunch of cat themed, and I figured I tried using a gold stamp, but it wasn't coming out right, so I just went with black stamps. I mean, black cats, you can't be more classic than that. This stamp set was a little bit more tough to take apart, as you could see, but the details of them are so great. They're a little bit like a thicker or more dense type of silicone, but they came out really awesome, and I love all the kitty cats, and especially that little like whiskers and eyes one. It's just, so adorable. Look at the details. Oh my gosh, it just makes me so happy looking at all of this. It inspires me so much, and every time I do a swatch or I'm doing a voiceover for a swatch, I just want to like go back to my bullet journal and doodle, or go back to my journal and doodle and draw some more, and just gets my creativity flowing. Are you the same way? So next up is a set that I bought from Amazon, and it's a set of 6 sheets. I am gonna still separate them with colors with the different sheets. This one is kind of one of my favorite, has a favorite stamp. It's that jar with the butterfly in it. I love it. I don't know why, but I just absolutely love it. I just love that jar in particular. I kind of wish the jar and the butterfly were separate, but that could easily be done. I could put like tape over where the butterfly is and just stamp it down and then remove the tape so that it didn't leave any butterfly behind. So I could still use it as a plain jar or as a plain butterfly with just like a little bit of extra effort, but I love it. The next sheet is a bunch of different florals and smaller leaves, and it has like a feather in it and different like berries and small butterflies, which is super cute, which is great for filling up space. The buddies next to me are this set of cacti, and they were so cute. I talked about them in my Amazon haul of plants. I'll link that up at the top if you're curious to check them out, but they're just so cute. They make me smile when they're sitting up in the corner and I get to do all my artsy stuff and have a little plant nearby. To be honest, my whole entire desk is kind of covered with a bunch of plants. They're just not all on camera because the main focus is, the journaling and the stamps, but my desk has at least 7 plants on it. Let me know if you want like an office tour type of video. I might do that. Alright, so this is still part of that 6-pack of stamps. It has all these cute florals, again very detailed, and then it has this kind of abstract florally organic-y shape, so they're kind of leaves and flowers, but they're not like perfect leaves and flowers, and it just has like a flowy fairy type of vibe. I'm not sure. I love them, absolutely love them. I love all the stamps that I just ordered. This is still part of that 6-sheet set, and these are all kind of small flowers. It's a whole sheet of these small flowers. Again, so much detail on them, and I just love it. Absolutely adore stamps that have all these like minuscule details. It just makes it so much better. Still part of that 6-sheet set. And wow, say that 6 times fast. And it's a bunch of like smaller butterflies, which look super cute. They are quite detailed as well. This ink doesn't do it justice, but hopefully you can kind of visualize all these lines and details that the stamp has. Oh, love it. All right, all the next stamps are just swatches of stamps I've already owned and collected over the years. Majority of them are from Michaels. I did try to search Amazon for any of these stamps, if I could kind of link them down below or find something similar if you're curious about getting it for your crafts, but I really could not find any of them. And if you have links for them, let me know, comment down below. But this is kind of my collection of past stamps. I have a few wooden stamps, as you can see. This one is my absolute favorite. It's like a fake writing stamp. I did find a similar one on Amazon, but I just love how it looks. It makes a great kind of aesthetic for like a decoupage type of page, or like a fake writing or letter page. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. Look at all the details. Oh, gorgeous. Like I said, I get too excited over stationery and craft supplies. Let me know if you're the same down below. That'd be pretty cool if I find friends who love to craft just like me. Though I'm not sure if I'm more of a craft supplies collector or a craft supplies user. Still, it's kind of like a 50-50 right now. Alright, so on to the rest of my wooden stamps. I think I prefer the clear acrylic stamps rather than the wooden stamps. I just find it so much easier to place on the page, and that you can see where it's placed since they're, you know, see-through. Let me know down below. Do you prefer the clear acrylics or like wooden stamps? Or maybe they have a purpose for each? I don't know. These alphabet stamps here are separate letters, but I was gonna be kind of lazy, so I just kind of clunked them all together. So I didn't have to spend forever to do the letters. And then I had this like happy planner stamp thing that I've never ever used in my entire life, and I decided to completely omit it from my journal altogether because I don't think I'm gonna ever use it. Alright, continuing on with all the lettering stamps that I had. Oh, I was wearing a bathrobe. That's after a shower right there. This whole entire process took me over 5 hours to do. And then it took me so long to edit it down to less than half an hour. Oh my gosh. The time spent on these swatches is ridiculous. But I'm loving it. And hopefully you guys are enjoying some inspiration with stamps. This butterfly and dragonfly stamp set I have purchased from Michaels was one of my first stamp sets ever, and I just recently noticed that inside the wings they have like fairies and other types of drawings, so it's not just swirls. So while I was doing these swatches, it wasn't I realized the details of the wings. Oh, and there's my kitty cat again. She was really asking for attention, and I was really ignoring her because I wanted to get this done. No more paw swatches from her. I was like, hey, come on, get out of here. And then she ended up sniffing the cactus at one point and deciding that it's not her friend. But that's my kitty cat. Alright, on to next set of swatches. Got these flowers, again from Michaels ages ago. And continue on with more swatches. The feather swatches came with these metallic cutouts for the stamps, but I don't have a press or a machine thingy to do the cutouts for, so they're just somewhere tucked away far in my drawer, and I don't know what to do with them. The next stamp set of roses I ended up getting from Wish. They were $1 with $1 shipping, but they were really good. They were a bit softer of a silicone, as you could see like the ink spreading out a little bit, but they come out super detailed and super great. I had to wait for them for like a month and a half, but they were pretty awesome. I might have to do a Wish stamp haul. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing something like that. Oh, these pretty details. Oh, just make me so excited. That ink is supposed to be a little bit shimmery. I'm trying to show it on camera, but because of the lighting, it just didn't work out that great. Look at the roses. The roses are so detailed, and it's so awesome for such a low price. More stamps, and let's keep going. I have a lot of stamps. I realized that when I was doing these swatches. These Mandala stamps are probably my favorite to use in spreads in my journal, or in like greeting cards or like gift cards or anything like that. They are super detailed and they just look so pretty. So pretty. The detail of them is like ridiculous. Just look at that. They look like lace. Ah, beautiful. Just beautiful. The next stamp set seemed like it went alongside with the first Mandala type of stamps, but it was a completely different stamp set and a completely different purchase from a completely different store. But I ended up putting it on the same pages next to it just so I can see kind of the similarities with the textures, the details, and just to have a similar layout in case I wanted to do different types of stamps. Sorry, went a little off camera over there. On to the next. And these were so much fun to place. They're like teeny tiny decorative flowers, foliage type of stuff. It kind of reminds me of 4-leaf clovers, or maybe like St. Patrick's Day type of theme, especially with the green color that I used. But they're super detailed and super tiny. There's like teeny tiny dots and stuff, and I just love the details on them and love how like florally and flowy and organic they look. Super cute. I do believe this set was off of Michaels, maybe Michaels online. Unfortunately, I could not find any of the links for it. I'm sorry. The next stamp set was kind of more for, I don't know, bullet journaling or scrapbooking or that type of thing, and I liked all the little details and the little mirror that you can write things in, or it's like a picture frame or things like that, and it was super cute. This little set kind of irked me very much, as you can see. I ended up flipping the page off because it just wouldn't stamp the way I wanted it, and I didn't want to go back and restamp it since I wanted it all to fit in one page, and it just irked me more than it should have, but whatever. It was done, it was there, and the end. Alright, so on to doing the front cover for these stamps. I wanted to keep going with the theme of having a hexagon kind of as the front and center, so I ended up putting a piece of paper to kind of block out that hexagon spot, and over all the other areas I'm gonna place stamps. And I wanted to go with kind of like a green foliagey theme, since right now I'm kind of obsessed with plants and that type of sort of situation, and I'm using markers to get a bunch of different shades of green. So unfortunately, markers, the ones that I have, don't really have that great of a pigment to spread across the whole silicone-y spot, so it comes out a little splotchy, but I don't mind the way it looks, and it kind of gives it that like messy, ripped, torn leaf type of thing, and I think it looked pretty cute. And it definitely did give me a bunch of shades of green so that it can be a more detailed piece, I suppose. I'm not really sure how to call it or what to say about it, but I love all of these large foliage stamps. They were just so cute. So I'm using a ton of different size leaves, different shape leaves, and kind of placing them everywhere to cover up that whole page. And then I went over the top with that green ink ink pad that I had to kind of bring out those smaller leaves out to the front so they'll be a little bit more detailed. Took off that page, and peeling those off is just so satisfying, and seeing kind of like that straight line, so great. I went and used I think it's a Tombow marker. It's the only Tombow marker I have, and it bled through and it just like made me really sad. But here's the cover page for stamp, and flip through all the stamps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I don't know what it's for, but just do it anyways. Help a girl out, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!